How you feeling tonight? Well, I hope better now that you're here, because we got a great show planned for you guys. Let's see. There's Miley Cyrus on her engagement to Hunger Games hunk Liam Hemsworth, Nick Jonas on his marriage to Priyanka Chopra, and Justin and Haley on their recent marriage as well. Wow, folks, love is in the air tonight, so stay tuned. But first, let's welcome George Smith to talk about his upcoming film, Mighty Dunes. Alright, George, you're an exciting up-and-coming director in the film industry, and your films are getting a lot of Oscar buzz, so tell us about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Egypt, and that's where I discovered my love for environmental studies. I was inspired to go into filmmaking to share the wonders of nature that I saw around me as a child, and that's where Mighty Dunes comes in.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I noticed that there's a table of jars and sand over there. What is that for?
Well, Jimmy, I was hoping we could show the young members of your audience a cool experiment that they can do at home to learn some fun things about geography. I've brought the star of the film to explain the experiment.
All right, everyone. Well, let's welcome Emma Stone.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma Stone and I play Sarah in the movie Mighty Dunes. So I'm here to teach you guys a bit of the science that we use behind the scenes while filming the movie. This experiment will display how different amounts of water and sand will create different slopes. Our set designers actually used this experiment to make realistic sand dunes that we used in the movie.
All right, show us how it works.
Okay. Alright, so the materials that we'll be using today are actually pretty easy to find, so you can do this experiment by yourself at home. We'll be needing 3 1-liter glass jars, a kilogram of sand, a liter of water, a dry erase marker, and a protractor.
Let's get started.
Alright, so first you're going to take your 3 jars and fill 2 of them half filled with sand. This will be our dry sand.
Should I go ahead and do this one?
Yep, this will be damp sand, so half filled with sand and then just a bit of water to make it damp. Add a bit more sand. Alright, so then you can fill that jar half up with water, so about 500 milliliters, so I'm going to pass that on to you.
Okay.
And that will just be water, no sand in that one. Okay, so we just screw up these jars, and we have our dry, damp, and water jars. And I'm going to just put them on their side and level them out, so we can do it with these 2. Just level them out until you see a straight line. And then you're going to take a dry erase marker and just put a line at the surface of the sand. So right there for dry, and then you can do it for water and damp sand. Alright, so the next part will actually tell us which jar will have the steepest slope.
So audience, I have a job for you. Which jar do you guys think will have the steepest slope? 1 is for water, 2 is for dry sand, and 3 is for damp sand.
1, 2, 3.
Alright, seems like most people think it'll be jar number 2, the dry sand. Let's see which one it'll actually be.
Okay. Alright, so now that you have the lines drawn, you're going to want to tip the jar until the sand starts falling to its side. So I'm going to tip the dry sand and the sand starts moving right there. So I'm going to draw a line parallel to the table and we're going to measure that angle later. So moving on to the damp sand, that's our line. I'm going to tip it and it starts falling right there. So again, line parallel to the table And the water's next. So that's the line we drew, tilting it, and as you can see, the water stays the same as you rotate it, and it just fills the shape of the jar no matter which way you tilt it. So that will give us actually a slope of 0 degrees. So we're just going to measure the rest of these and determine which one has the steepest slope. So this one is about 50 degrees. This one gives us a slope of about 70 degrees. So the answer is that the damp sand has the steepest slope out of all 3.
Thank you, Emma. We'll see you later.
All right, thank you for having me.
After this commercial break, we can talk more about what just happened.
Are you tired of using your hands while eating? I get it, and I have a solution for you. We're presenting spoons. They're easy to use, efficient, and they help you avoid messes. We here at the Spoon Company have 3 simple steps to help you avoid any messes while eating. First, you take your spoon and your food, then you scoop your food up and put your bowl down. You put your food in your hand and you enjoy. We'll call 1-800-5-SPOONS to get 30% off your purchase of spoons. Call now and happy eating.
Anyways, George, what did that experiment have to do with your movie?
Well, I was going through some of my old things from high school, and I stumbled upon this rock cycle diagram from my grade 11 geography textbook. The weathering, erosion, and deposition that occur perfectly connected to my movie idea about sand dunes.
What's the rock cycle?
Well, Jimmy, I'm glad you asked. The rock cycle describes the continuous transformation of different types of igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks as they are changed and influenced by Earth's processes.
Well, kids, looks like he has brought some colored pictures for you to stay attentive.
Yes, I have. It all starts with the center of the Earth, the core. The core heats up the magma, or molten rock in the mantle. When this mantle cools below the crust, it forms intrusive igneous rock. Because igneous rock cools very slowly, they are typically composed of larger crystallized grains. On the other hand, when this magma reaches the surface in volcanic eruptions and is exposed to oxygen, it is cooled much more quickly, so there isn't as much time for crystals to develop. This kind of rock is called extrusive igneous rock. When igneous and sedimentary rocks are exposed to tremendous heat and pressure, they become a rock called metamorphic rocks. There are 2 types of metamorphic rocks, contact and dynamic. Contact metamorphic rocks are formed when rocks are exposed to magma and intrusive igneous rock formation underneath the Earth's surface. Dynamic metamorphic rocks are formed when rocks are put under lots of pressure underneath the crust from above rock layers.
And on to the finale.
Sedimentary rocks are formed when the other types of rocks are brought to the surface of the Earth through processes like mountain building and the weathering agents of water, ice, and sand, wearing away rock layers above. This breaking down of rock exposes the metamorphic and intrusive igneous in lower layers, which causes uplift and creates sediments. Rocks on the surface, like extrusive igneous rocks, are also broken down by the weathering agents and are eroded by wind and water, moving the sediments to be deposited into lakes and streams, where they sink to the bottom and are compacted. Deposition of these sediments in the desert can also create sand dunes. Compression and sedimentation of the layers of sediments make them turn into clastic sedimentary rocks. Chemical processes like the evaporation of water leaving behind layers of salt can form chemical sedimentary rocks. Lastly, the eroded remains of living organisms can accumulate to form biogenic sedimentary rocks, such as limestone.
So these are the only 3 types of rocks Earth has to offer?
Yep, no matter is ever created or destroyed. It can only change form from one form to another.
And what drives this cycle?
Well, the heat from the core below and the sun above are both crucial, because without these, the redistribution of matter is obsolete.
Wow, I think I almost fell asleep there. Anyways, let's wake up our audience. Let's give a round of applause for Emma Stone.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to check out our movie, Mighty Dunes, coming soon to theaters near you. Till next time.
Audio Jungle. Okay.
Mon petit foufou.
Deposition that occur in this rock cycle perfectly connected to my movie idea about sand dunes.
Well, kids, look like he brought some colored pictures to show you.
Look like. Shut up! Look like you brought some. What?
Well, that's fine.
Okay, we'll be like, yeah, okay, I've seen this around and it's pretty cool. And you're like, yeah. Hey, everyone. How you feeling tonight? Well, that feels so weird.
It's okay, my child. It'll be alright. Just use the love of sand.